What's his angle? Be me? 25, grad student in sociology plus part-time comms goblin at a community arts nonprofit. Minor in gender studies, major in catastrophizing, raised on a steady diet of. Men are a walking risk assessment. Mom ran the department of don't trust dudes. My anecdotes equals peer-reviewed by trauma, college boyfriends, cheater, love bomber, ghost with a Spotify account. Thesis, men will evolve gills to swim away from accountability. Fast forward, campus housing screws me over. Renovations plus historic demand. Get email, temporary mixed unit placements may occur. Translation, congrats you have a Y chromosome roommate. Me stops responding. March into housing like a tiny union rep. Separate units for safety, speech loaded. Front desk lady hits me with, so sorry, nothing available until mid-semester. Brain, barricade house with chairs. Mouth, fine. Move-in day, door opens. There he is, tall, quiet cardigan that looks like a therapist. Introduces himself like a human NPR segment. Hey, I'm Liam. I work evenings at the campus library. Red flags, none visible, which is obviously the biggest red flag. Initiate feminist countermeasures. Label shelves, sticky notes on everything. MY mug slash MYOATS, MY pan, the people's pan. Bathroom mirror gets a manifesto. Please respect shared spaces, thanks raised fist. He reads it once, nods, goes back to assembling a shoe rack like it's a UN treaty. Rude that he didn't argue so I could win. First night, double locked door, jam a chair under handle, sleep with keys in fist like brass knuckles light. Every hallway creak sounds like a podcast about me. Morning, alive, alive, kitchen spotless, trash out. His shoes parallel parked by the door with military precision. I hate this curated civility speedrun. Convince self it's theater. Dude S running a long con, wait for mask to slip. Mask refuses to slip. Root again, day 3, hear metal outside my room. Panic, grab reusable water bottle as bludgeon. Yank door open to catch him in the ACT. He is crouched with a screwdriver, tightening the hinge on my door. It squeaked when you closed it last night. The villainy. I tell him please don't lurk. He says, yeah, totally, I'll knock next time. Goes back to fixing hinge like a dad on a sitcom without the laugh track. Day 4, kitchen overlap. I attempt pasta. He's chopping veggies like a YouTube tutorial that apologizes for the ad break. He asks, what time do you usually cook? I can avoid crowding you. Brain translates to schedule compliance test. Mouth says I can share a kitchen. He says okay. He actually means okay. Hate crimes against my narrative. Day 5, laundry room subplot. My clothes held hostage by dryer. Get distracted reading articles about gendered labor. Come back 2 hours later. Basket outside my door. Shirts folded using witchcraft. No note, no guilt coupon, no just being nice, just done. Feel attacked by respect. Text bestie. He folded my laundry, bestie. Niceness is just phase 1, me. Okay, but my socks are arranged like a tiny retail display. Bestie. Phase 2 is gaslighting about the socks. Week 2 arrives. Routine settles in. He cooks. I clean. We pass like ships that have red bell hooks. He fixes tiny things without announcing it. Smoke alarm battery. Doorstop that was MIA since the Cold War. Stove knob that spun like a fidget spinner. I update my internal spreadsheet. Column A, problem. Column B, respectful solution. Column C, suspicious motive. TBD, phone call with mom. Sweetie men act polite until they want something. Like healthcare. Mom, focus. Friday night. Cohort drags me to bar that smells like nostalgia and fryer oil. Table full of grad goblins. Someone complains about her roommate weaponizing incompetence. I load my rant. Mouth betrays me. He's fine actually. Table blue screens. Sam, male feminist in the wild, terrifying. Leans in like a dissertation defense. Is it possible the baseline for men is set so low we're surprised by normal? Room goes silent. I load not all men trap card. He calmly says not all anyone. I hate how he did that. Walk home with a storm cloud over my head. Unlock door, smell garlic plus butter. Note on pot. Made extra, feel free. Hatred with a side of linguine. Days pass. I start noticing the boring kindnesses. He puts the heavy recycling on collection day without performing it. He leaves the last 2 eggs in the carton like a gentleman. He never comments on my shoe's explosion by the mat. I still lock my door, though. Narrative requires ritual. Thursday night. Finals fog brain, editing citations until my eyes form unions. Phone rings, aunt, voice shaky. Your mom took a spill, slipped on her porch, possible wrist fracture, she's at county. County equals 2 hours away. Buses equals drop off in the next timeline. Uber equals mortgage. I start calling friends. Always here for you, squad. Voicemail Festival 2025. Crying quietly like a damp kettle. Roommate door opens. Liam appears in the liminal hallway light. You okay? Words tumble out like Jenga. He listens, nods. Grab your coat, I'll drive. Me feminist firewall flaring. No, you don't have to. I know, let's go. We depart. Car smells like library and gum. Wipers doing Morse code for compassion. 20 minutes in, I ask the cursed question. Why are you being nice? He stares at road like it's an ethical dilemma. You're my roommate. Community is a verb. Shut up, what does that even mean? Also find that's kinda poetic, I hate it here. Arrive at county. Hospitals are liminal spaces where time is a rumor. He navigates forms like a side quest expert. Brings me water without making it a personality. Keeps a polite orbit. Not hovering, not disappearing, just available. Mom Akish. Sprain plus stitches plus lecture from nurse about salt intake. She sees him. Is that the nice young man who drove? Me, yes. Her, that was very kind. Men can be kind. I refuse to make eye contact with the character development fairy. 2M waiting room. Texts finally arrive from Always Here squad. OMG, so sorry. Phone on DND Elmau. Cool, love that for us. I whisper, thanks for driving. He whispers back, I still can't believe you're surprised. I shut up because, yeah, back home before sunrise. I make tea because my culture is caffeine and denial. He says goodnight like a period, not an ellipsis. Doors close, brain open, days normalize-ish. I bring him a pastry from the Feminist bakery. Yes, it's a thing. Leave it on counter with a sticky. Thanks for the ride. He adds a tiny NP on the sticky like we're doing cave art. I call housing to update mom emergency contact. They remember me. Oh. Your single gender placement request finally cleared. We can move your roommate next week. Me stares at wall. Me hears echo of week 1 me. Me says, okay. Email goes out. Subject, assignment change confirmed. Liam gets the same email. He knocks once, holds up phone. Guess they found me a new place in Block C. Voice neutral, not wounded, not smug, just logistics with a pulse. I attempt a joke to make the air less solid. You'll finally be free of my sticky notes. He smiles. I'll miss the typography. The next days are a montage of tape and boxes, awkward choreography in the hallway. He packs quietly. I clean weirdly hard like I'm scrubbing feelings off tile. He cooks one last time, leaves me leftover curry with a label like a museum plaque. Contains coconut milk. Even his leftovers have consent. Move out morning. We ride the elevator with a box labeled books do not drop. Elevator music plays lo-fi goodbyes. At the curb, he adjusts the strap, turns, offers a small wave. Take care, okay? My mouth says, you too. My eyes say, I'm sorry I was a courtroom in your home. Door closes behind him. The apartment suddenly too big. Like the silence grew furniture. I notice the mirror, peel off the manifesto sticky, fill a small funeral for it in the trash, text him. Thanks again for everything, he replies a minute later. Anytime, hope your mom heals fast. That should be the end, should feel like safety. Like week 1 me was finally avenged. Instead, I am haunted by how many times I loaded a weaponized assumption, and he never made me fire it. Friends visit to christen the lonely era. They bring wine that tastes like good grades. I tell the story. They nod and say, oh, he's one of the good ones. I expect to agree. Mouth says, maybe the point isn't sorting men into bins. Silence. Someone jokes about composting patriarchy. We laugh, but I hear myself for the first time, week after he leaves. I open the utility closet. Saw he left a small toolbox on the shelf. Note on top. You mentioned the drawer sticks. Light sandpaper will fix it. Keep these. Cry about sandpaper like it's a Pixar short. Take toolbox to stuck drawer. Sand, glide, close, small, ordinary miracle, like kindness that doesn't need a tweet. Run into him on campus a few days later. He's shelving returns at the library. We do the awkward wave. I try to return the toolbox. He shakes his head. Pass it forward. Thinks he's Gandhi with a Home Depot membership. Later that night, add pass it forward to my notes app. Right under men are and I pause, delete the ellipsis, leave it blank, space where a conclusion used to be, feminism chapter update. Apparently includes mutual aid, humble verbs, and sandpaper. Next week, housing emails. How is your new placement? I type draft responses. Safer, quieter, lonelier, delete all, send resolved, thanks. Host a zine night for the nonprofit. Theme, care is a practice. Everyone cuts little collage hearts. I cut a tiny door hinge, glue it to the corner of my page, title the spread Maintenance as Love Language, post a flyer on the building board. Free smoke alarm battery swap Saturday at 3, 2 residents show up. We change the batteries in 4 units. Someone bakes banana bread. We invent a tiny neighborhood. Text from mom. Wrist healing, still scolding me about salt, proud of you. I ask, proud for what? She says, you keep showing up. I think about a cardigan, a car ride, and a toolbox. I think about how showing up is the most political act, actually. Run into Sam again after seminar. He asks, careful. So how's the roommate saga? I say, turns out people are people. He laughs like a sigh. Worst twist ending. Start using my door lock less as a talisman and more as a tool. Start labeling fewer things. Start offering half the table in the kitchen to visitors without speeches about boundaries. Still feminist, just less armed. Months pass, spring rolls in like a gentle policy change. I learn how to fix the cabinet hinge without calling a dude. But I also learn I can call a dude who respects me if I need to. Skill issue solved. New roommate assigned. Woman from architecture. We meet. She's cool. We agree on dish rotation and noise hours like civilized raccoons. She points at the toolbox. This yours? I say, kinda, and tell her the story but shorter with fewer weapons. She says, sounds like the bar for men is subterranean. I say, maybe the bar is a ladder and some people are actually climbing. We stare at the toolbox together like it's a quiet thesis. Finals week again. I drop by the library to hide from my own thoughts. See Liam at the desk. I return a stapler that isn't technically mine. We exchange 2 sentences and a smile that isn't pulling me into anything. Walk home past posters that say abolish the state/support your local cat. I want a new poster. Maybe it just says, assume complexity. That night I write a green text in my head. Be me, sure I am, still feminist, still wary, also open to being surprised without calling it betrayal. I hang the toolbox near the door. Like a small altar to maintenance, to quiet citizenship, to the fact that care can be anonymous and still radical. I keep the hinge note in my journal. Knock next time. Funny how I asked for that, and the world did. No big epiphany soundtrack, no conversion narrative, just incremental repairs, drawer slides, door doesn't squeak, smoke alarms blink like tiny lighthouses. I sleep without the chair under the handle, the revolution it turns out. Sometimes sounds like a screwdriver, and ends with leftovers in the fridge labeled, contains coconut milk. Finn.